All right, ready to decode the cosmic language of you. Today we're diving into all things astrology, and our guide is the only astrology book you'll ever need. We're going way beyond those basic sun sign descriptions you've probably seen.
Exactly. It's amazing how astrology has been around for centuries, captivating different cultures. There's a real depth to it.
And we're going to unpack all those layers today.
We are.
You know, I've always thought it's kind of funny how we start with sun signs. Like, here's this one tiny piece of a huge I Ching puzzle. Now figure yourself out.
It's true, though, isn't it? It's usually the starting point. We always hear about being a passionate Leo or a grounded Taurus, but this book actually explains why those descriptions sometimes feel like a one-size-fits-all, one that doesn't quite fit.
Yes, exactly. It's like reading a horoscope and being like, well, that's kind of relatable, but for anyone, really.
Exactly. This deep dive is all about understanding your unique astrological blueprint. And that's way more detailed than just your sun sign. Your birth chart is like a cosmic snapshot of the exact position of all the planets the moment you were born.
Okay, so say I'm totally new to this. Why does the sun sign get so much attention?
It shows our core identity, our ego, the essence of who we are striving to be. It's that energy we project out into the world.
So if someone's like, I'm a total Scorpio, they're really talking about their sun sign.
Most likely. And while it's important, the book emphasizes that it's just one piece of the puzzle. Even within a sun sign, there are nuances. For example, Taurus, often associated with the love for the finer things in life. But the book jigs deeper, and it points out their connection to the throat.
Wait, what? Really? I've never heard that before.
Right. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and expression. You guessed it. Art and expression. Their connection to the throat makes perfect sense. It's how they express that Venusian energy.
Whoa, so there's a reason behind it. See, this is already blowing my mind. But we can't forget about the elephant, well, the bull in the room. This whole Taurus thing, is it because they're stubborn?
That whole stubborn as a bull thing. It's from their fixed earth energy, which also makes them grounded and dependable. Each trait has layers.
Okay, this is already way more insightful than just like Tauruses are good with money. But I gotta know about these other pieces of the puzzle you mentioned. What about moon signs?
Well, as the book puts it, everyone is a moon and has a dark side.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
It goes deep. Your moon sign shows your inner world, how you process emotions, and what you need to feel safe and comfortable. Your sun sign is the outward you, the you that everyone sees, and your moon sign is the inward you. It's the side that you might not even show to the people closest to you.
That makes so much sense. Sometimes I feel like even I don't know what my moon sign is up to.
Exactly. It's about those gut reactions, those hidden depths, and the book really encourages you to explore those with a sense of curiosity, not judgment.
I'm already rethinking all those times I blamed a so-called bad day on Mercury retrograde. We'll get to the planets soon, I promise. But first, we need to address another super important element, the ascendant, or the rising sign, as it's sometimes called.
Ah, yes, the infamous mask we wear. Is that how they describe it in this book? Yes, it is. Think of your ascendant as that first impression you give off, your initial energy signature. It's how other people see you before they really get to know you, before they get to know your sun and moon signs.
It's like the astrological equivalent of dress for the job you want, but for your chart.
Exactly. And the fascinating thing is that the book actually connects each ascendant with physical characteristics too. So it can show up in your appearance and your demeanor.
Hold on, that's where things get really interesting. Tell me more about this whole physical appearance thing. So are you saying my rising sign could explain why I always get carded? I need to know more?
It's more about like general vibes than specific features. Like an Aries rising could mean someone has a more athletic build, while a Gemini rising might have a quick youthful energy. It just adds another layer of complexity.
Wow, this is making me look at everyone I know in a whole new light. Okay, so we've got our sun, moon, and ascendant. That's like our cosmic starter pack. What else is in this birth chart of ours?
Now we're getting into the really good stuff, the
Yep.
planets and houses, which add a ton of depth to our understanding.
See, when I hear planets and houses, my brain kind of shuts down. It feels very like astrology expert territory.
I totally get it. But this book breaks it down really well. Think of the planets as actors in a play, each with their own, like, energy and motivation.
Okay, so like Mercury's the messenger, Venus is love.
Exactly. Mercury is all about communication and how we think. Venus is our values, relationships. Mars is action and desire. It goes on from there.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. But what about the houses? Are we talking like actual houses?
Not really. The houses in astrology actually represent different areas of life. Things like your career, relationships, your home, stuff like that. There are 12 houses in total, and each one is ruled by a certain zodiac sign.
So it's like each planet kind of expresses its energy through, like, the lens of the house it's in.
Yes, exactly. For example, if you have Venus in the 7th house of partnerships, you might be super charming and good at relationships.
Yeah.
But if Venus is in the 10th house of career, maybe you'd be successful in something like art or beauty or luxury.
Whoa, okay, this is starting to feel like one of those connect the dots puzzles. I'm starting to get it. But there's so many planets and houses and signs. How do we even start to make sense of it all?
That's where, astrologers come in. They can interpret the specific positions of all these things in your birth chart to give you, like, personalized insights.
Yeah.
But even just understanding the basics can be super empowering.
Speaking of empowering, what about compatibility? Can astrology really tell us if we're, like, meant to be with someone?
The big question, right?
Right.
While this book doesn't make promises like that, it does get into the really cool world of astrological compatibility.
So no more just swiping right based on sun signs then.
Well, sun sign compatibility can be a good place to start, yeah. But as we've been saying, there's way more to it. The book really emphasizes looking at all the different elements in both charts. Like, comparing moon signs can show emotional compatibility, while looking at Venus signs can show how each person expresses love and affection.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like, I might be a fiery Aries, but with my moon in Cancer, maybe I secretly want more emotional depth than my sun sign would show.
Exactly. And don't forget the ascendants either. If your rising signs clash, you might butt heads or not understand each other at first, even if your sun signs are like a match made in heaven.
Like they say, opposites attract. But can they stay together when Mercury's in retrograde? I'm just kidding. But really, are there any unexpected compatibility things in this book?
For sure. It definitely challenges those ideas about what a good match really is. For example, the book mentions this unexpected spark between Aries and Taurus.
Wait, are you serious? Aries is all about action and Taurus just wants to chill. How does that even work?
Right. But the book says that those different energies can actually work well together. Aries brings the excitement, and Taurus provides the grounding and sensuality. It's about balance and liking the differences.
So it's not about finding your astrological soulmate, but more about knowing how things work between you.
Exactly. Astrology can help us understand those dynamics with more awareness and make us more understanding. It's almost like a cheat sheet for your relationships.
This is so cool. I feel like we're finally moving past those basic descriptions and getting to the real deal.
Right. That's what it's all about. There's always something new to find out. And speaking of new things, the book mentions a few other astrological terms. Have you ever heard of decanates?
Decanates. Maybe it's one of those things I've heard of, but I don't really get it.
Basically, they're like these mini cycles in each sign. Each sign is 7 degrees, right? And then that's split into 3 10-degree sections. Each one is ruled by a different zodiac sign, which just adds another layer to your sun sign. Like a Leo in the Aries decanate might have even more of that Leo energy with more passion.
Like adding extra spice to a recipe. You have the main ingredient, but the decanate adds a whole other flavor. Okay, so what about cusps? I feel like people born on a cusp are always having an identity crisis.
Well, when we're talking astrology, a cusp is just the point where one sign ends and the next one begins. You're not actually born under 2 signs.
Right, because your sun can only be in one sign at a time.
Yeah, but some people are born really close to a cusp, so they might feel the energy of both signs more strongly.
This is making me realize there's so much more to learn about all this. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
Of course. That's okay. This deep dive is about giving you a good foundation. There are so many other things to check out, like transits and aspects. The important thing is to learn the basics first, see what your chart is, and see what feels right to you.
It's like we've given our listeners the map, and now it's up to them to choose their own adventure.
A perfect way to put it. And speaking of charts, there's something really wild in the book. It said that no 2 birth charts are the same for over 4 million years. Think about that.
4 million years, that's crazy.
I know, right? It's like your birth chart is like your own cosmic fingerprint, totally unique to you.
So even though we talk about these different astrological types, in the end, everyone's path is totally their own.
You got it. Astrology isn't about seeing the future or putting people into boxes.
Yeah.
It's about knowing yourself on a deeper level and using that to go through life in a more aware way.
It's about being empowered, not limited. I love that. So, to everyone listening out there, take this new astrology knowledge and run with it. Explore that cosmic blueprint of yours.
See what speaks to you and what doesn't. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And most importantly, have fun.
You never know, this deep dive might have just lit a fire in you for the cosmos. Until next time, keep looking up and never stop being curious.